It's Alea Antoine. You're listening to Tease podcast.
Everyone loves a tease. Stop.
But don't get too excited. This is how I snuck into the floor seats at the Weeknd for only $60. This is top secret because I don't think it's ethical. I definitely could have got kicked out, and so I won't be making a clip of this. I won't be advertising this. This is solely for the real ass teasers to know the secret of how I did this. Hello everyone, and welcome to Tease podcast. Happy Tuesday, bitches. It is so amazing to be back with you guys for a solo episode. I'm so glad that I'm doing it today. At first, I honestly didn't even know if I'd be able to record an episode because I have been dealing with a sinus infection for like over a week. And it's crazy because I feel like I got ojo because my friend, she was visiting Vegas. Now, she is originally from here. Like, Vegas is her hometown. So she'll visit when her family's here, and she's pregnant, so she was visiting. It was so great. Her husband's friends also came. So me and Kai got to meet, like, his friends. And the girlfriend of the other couple was like, oh yeah, like, I'm so glad we were able to make it because he was, like, sick a couple weeks before. And I was like, oh, like, that's so sad, you know what I mean? And then she starts talking and she's like, who gets sick in the summer, right? Like, I was laughing about it. You know, when someone makes a joke about their partner, like, you're not going to be like, that's not funny. So what did I do? I laughed along with it. I was just like, oh, haha, that's true. And then literally, boom, the next week, here I am sick as a dog in the summer. But like, the problem is that, guys, I have a question. If you're sick, do you rally or do you like actually stay home and rest? Like, R or R? Do you rest or do you rally? Because when I'm sick, like, nothing could hold me back. I would have to be like in the hospital for me to like not make it to the function. Like, if I want to go, I'm still gonna go. But I've always been like this. Like, even when I was in high school, I remember my friend, it was freshman year, and she was supposed to throw the rager of the year. Wow, I could tell that I haven't been alone with you guys in a while because my mind is going every which way. Side note on the rager part, I really like was thinking about my wedding for like a second. I don't know why. And I was like, when I have a wedding, like, I don't want like a normal reception. Like, I want a rager. I want a rager. Like, before I moved to Seattle with Kai, we threw a party at my townhouse in Texas to like celebrate our relationship and whatever. And the way we celebrated was with a naughty Santa Project X party, and I literally made everyone come in lingerie or pajamas. Like, I was like, if you don't wear lingerie or pajamas, like, you're getting kicked out. And like, I like had like this like lingerie like Mrs. Claus thing. It was so ridiculous because me and Kai, we made like jungle juice for the whole party too. And our jungle juice, everyone was like, this is the best jungle juice I've ever had. Like, it was to the point, you know, the Victorious scene where everyone's drinking water from the cup because they're trapped in the heat and they're like taking a little sip, like, because there's not a lot of water. That's what they were doing with our jungle juice because we were running out and they were like, no, I just need a little bit more. It was so funny because our neighbor let me like use the Gatorade like big sports jugs to make it. So we filled those bitches up and we filled them up with, we went to the liquor store and got like the cheapest handle of vodka that we could find. It was like a Russian, like pure hand sanitizer vodka. We got like a bunch of bottles of those. Then we went to Dollar Tree and we got the Dollar Tree fruit punch. We got the Dollar Tree Sprite, and then we got a bunch of Dollar Tree gummy candies. And then we mixed that together with the raw sugar because we were like, okay, if everyone leaves and they're like, oh, like, I'm able to get up the next day, they're like, that was fun, but like, moving on. Like, we wanted everyone to have a hangover because when you have a hangover, what's the first thing you do? You wake up and you go, oh my God, what happened last night? Oh my gosh. So everyone like had a huge hangover because we poured sugar in it. We're criminals for that. Like I feel like we should be taken to court. Wait, no. I don't feel like that. No one asked for compensation. I don't want any class action lawsuit against my naughty Santa party of 2021, 2022. Also, that's when I think Kai broke their arm. No, Kai broke something. Was it the leg? I don't remember. Kai broke some sort of thing or fractured something because Kai was like so gone, and I have stairs in my house that Kai literally was standing at the top of the stairs, it would just fall. Like just fall like a cartoon. Like I couldn't even have sympathy because I'm like, how are you just standing there throwing yourself off of the stairs? It reminds me of when I was a kid and I would be at my grandma's house and I'd be like, wow, I want to fall down the stairs because kids are so weird. And I would just throw myself down the stairs. Like that's what it looked like. Oh my gosh, that was a good time. That makes me think about my wedding reception and like I really want like a rager. Like I feel like wedding receptions are hard because on one hand like your family is there, like your family, the old people in your family, generations, and then you have your friends, and then you have you and your partner. And it's like a lot of people I feel like choose to go with music that's cohesive for everyone. But there's this part of me that really is just so selfish. It is like, I only want music that I'm gonna like. Like, if I don't like it, it's not gonna be played. And what I like is I want some like hardcore booty poppin'. I want some really good Spanish music. I want some girl rap, and I do want some like R&B and stuff. And I don't want the clean version. I want it to be explicit. Like I don't want oh beep, like that's weird, you know what I mean? I like am nowhere near the price point or time in life where this is like has to be something I'm debating on, but it's just a thought that I've been having a lot. Okay, going back to the main story of how whenever I'm sick, like I don't let it hold me back. I remember this all started my freshman year of high school. My friend was throwing the quote unquote Rager of the Year. I had a stomach bug. Like my whole household, we were just puking. It was terrible. And my mom was like, Alea, like if you stay home, you could not go to her party. Which honestly to this day doesn't make sense. Like I should have been able to rest from school and still go to my friend's party. But whatever. I'm glad that I'm an adult and I have free will now. But I was like, okay, fine. I remember her driving me to school and I literally had to puke like as she's driving and I'm like holding it, like gasping for air the whole way. But like I also have to look chill because if I look remotely sick, my mom is gonna turn around. So I'm just staring at the window the whole time. She finally drops me off at school. I sprint towards the nearest trash can, puke. I literally puked probably like every like other hour. It was so bad, but I made it to the party. And now I have that memory. But you know what happens when you do something that you shouldn't and you execute it well? You don't know your limits. So now I've like adopted that behavior as an adult, which is terrible. So I had a sinus infection and I just like was not feeling good. I had the chills. I like couldn't move. I like was so nasally. That's why I'm sorry if like my voice even sounds like not as good today. Because like I feel like I just got fine, but my voice was like even way more nasally and everything. It was so bad. Like I sounded like Squidward, like hello, like that's literally how I sounded. I couldn't breathe. And for some reason last week, like we had a ton of plans. And normally I'm the type of person that I usually like one, maybe two things to do a week. Other than that, I just want a free schedule to like go with the wind, do whatever I want. Like I honestly am not the person that like wants to go out every single day. Like I was literally just talking to my friend about this and I was like, yes, I'm extroverted, but that's because like when I'm feeling introverted, you won't find me. Like I don't go outside my house when I'm feeling introverted. If I'm feeling introverted, no one else would know because I don't go into the public. I don't socialize. Like I call it my hibernating days where I just stay home and I don't talk to anyone. I don't answer the phone. I don't have conversations. I don't use my voice like the whole day. So it was weird because last week, the week where I desperately needed that to recover, I chose to just rest, quote unquote, during the day, pop an edible at night and then just go to whatever function. And I realized that don't take me up on this. I'm not a doctor. I have no certification. I don't even have my master's degree. But an edible literally cures everything. I will never believe that like THC is like the quote unquote devil's lettuce. No, that is angel dust because it's from the ground, it's completely natural, and it just makes you feel instantly recovered. Like I remember I like was feeling like shakes or my throat would be hurting. I would take an edible while I was out with my friends and boom, I made it through every single night. I had such a good week and I definitely have like gone to the point in Vegas where like there's always something to do, which was something that I was like really missing living in Washington. And even when I lived in San Antonio, like I've always wanted to live in a place that if I'm ever feeling like I want to go out, that there's always a move. And like this city is, there's always something to do, you know, like especially like once you start meeting people, you start figuring out like, oh, I can do this, I can do this, you know what I mean? And so that was really fun. So I'm so glad that I get to like talk to you guys now and everything. There is actually something that has happened with the podcast that I have been keeping from the teasers. And I need to, one, apologize about it, but I also need to apologize to myself about it. And it is that Tease, guys, has officially been around for a year. Oh my gosh, Tease is officially 1 years old. The part that I've been hiding is that Tease hit 1 years old last month. Tease became 1 years old, like I think like the second week of June or something like that. And I didn't say anything about it. I didn't mention it in any of the episodes. I didn't mention it on any of the social medias. I just kind of kept it to myself. Basically, the reason why that happened is because I think that as someone who is like going and trying to like do my own thing, make your own thing that's creative, I think that nowadays with what we see with capitalism and what we have the ability to do with our phones and social media, and like I feel like we just all kind of like have adapted a sort of entrepreneurial mindset, and that we're all trying to do things that like express our creative outlets. Like I feel like back in the day you meet older people and they're like, yeah, I did this and this all my life, but you know, I always wanted to do this. And I feel like we're the generation that like we're not letting ourselves get away with saying I always wanted to. We're like, I want to at least try to do it. So I've been trying to build something on my own, and I love this podcast so much, but as much as there's like highs that I have with it and it's like been super successful, it has like over 50,000 streams, you know what I mean? Like it's in the top 20% of Spotify video podcasts. Y'all writing questions all the time. Y'all always listen. And so I have so many highs and I have so many things that are happening with the podcast that I've also been working on. And those parts make me like so like happy to see the progress. But I think that anything that happened, especially for some reason, I have this weird thing to where if I'm getting no traction at all, like when it first started and no one knew about it, I kind of was just like, I'll do whatever I want because no one's watching anyways. I'm at that weird point to where it's like, it hasn't blown up, but it's also not small as it used to be, and it's very visible now. It's like then you start to doubt yourself even more. Like it's like as soon as you see results, your brain does this weird thing to where it switches up on you and it goes, well, you're like imposter syndrome. These aren't enough results. This person's doing this way. Well, I wish I had this. Like it's like you give someone an inch and they want a mile, and so then you don't see how hard that you've worked just to get that inch. Like where Tease is at today is has surpassed honestly all of my goals when I made it. Like when I made it, I was like, okay, within a year, I really hope that this and this and this happens. I really hope that I have this amount of listeners, and I've like gone triple times it, but I can't register that for some reason, or I couldn't register that. And I wasn't giving myself a pat on the back. I was like ragging on myself like, well, that's not enough, you know? And so when it hit a year, like I was just kind of like, oh, it's been a year and have I really grown the way I wanted to? Even though you know that you surpassed your original goal, for some reason you're constantly chasing a high of wanting to be better, and that's good because it keeps you motivated, but it becomes bad when it makes you not celebrate all of your wins. And so I am so sorry that I didn't talk about Tease hitting a year because one, this is not even about me. This is about you guys. The podcast wouldn't have been around if you guys weren't listening for a year. So I feel like I like took that away from all of us, like by being like such a Debbie Downer and like insecure and like insecurity like that is not cute. I need to like work on that so hard. But we all have our days, and so happy birthday to us all. Like I'm genuinely so grateful for you guys because I feel like sometimes like y'all give me more motivation than like I can even give myself sometimes. And so yeah, I mean I'm really happy that T's hit a year. We're gonna celebrate now. Speaking of celebrate, I did one of the coolest, most sneakiest probably unethical things that I have ever done. And some of y'all have been asking about it, but I went to the Weeknd concert in Las Vegas. Oh my god. I love The Weeknd. And I know that some people say, "Oh, he's such a popular artist. Everyone loves him." Like, I don't want to say that I listen more than other people, but I've been listening for like since maybe middle school. It's been a really long time. My mom is an English teacher, and so she's a really big like book reader, and she was reading the Twilight series. And so whenever the movies came out, like I saw Twilight originally, and I remember hearing his music in it, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so good." And my mom would always play the Twilight soundtrack while we were driving. Like she was a huge Twilight fan, and that's how I first started hearing The Weeknd. Is like I was a kid and my mom's playing the music, and I'm like, "Oh my god, who's this?" You know? And it's so crazy because before that, whenever people would like say that they had a favorite artist and they would like cry if they saw them in person, or you know how a lot of people have tattoos of like their favorite artists. Like I literally know a girl that has like Suicide Boys tats all over her. And I used to be like, how could you become like that obsessed with a musician that like you're gonna like do all this? I realized that when I started listening to The Weeknd high key. And I think that it's just that I've like listened to it like for every like milestone I've had in life, every like painful road that I've had, it's been there for me. And I've like gained this new perspective to where I'm reading this book and it's like talking about your problems, and it's like your problems are actually your blessings because in life your problems are a call to action, and they're like the things that push you to be better. And when you look back on your problems, it like becomes part of like your story. So at the time it was like a coping mechanism, but now I look back and I'm like, wow, at this monumental like pivotal point in my life that seemed so dark and dreary, I was listening to The Weeknd, and now looking back it's like become like a huge point of change that like I wouldn't be the person I am today without it. And so it was just really cool that I saw that he was coming to Vegas because I've never been to his concerts before, but I didn't have enough money to get like the tickets that I wanted at first. Well, okay, I did, but I didn't want to spend it on a ticket for some reason because it just seemed so far out that I was like, okay, like I'll just get a ticket later. You know what I mean? I said, I'll get a ticket later, I'll get a ticket later. And then next thing I know, it's the week before the concert and I don't have a ticket. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Kai, like I just realized, like, what am I doing? Like, I need to get a ticket. Like, I need to see him. Like, I will not forgive myself if I don't go to this concert. It's his last time doing The Weeknd. Plus, like, I remember The Weeknd is who I used to listen to when I would drive my sneaky link home in high school, or when I would like cry on my bathroom counter. Like, I have to go see it. And the thing about me is that Vegas has completely corrupted me, because one thing about Vegas is like if you are a girl, you can get away with murder here. You can get away with a lot. And I'm not talking about in like a real professional sense. I just mean like when you're going out, like you can take privileges that you wouldn't be able to do other places. So I'm like, okay, I went to a WNBA game, the Aces basketball game, the week before the concert, and me and my friends, we had gotten nosebleed seats, and we noticed that there were some empty rows, And so we're like, okay, during the quarter switch, let's just go to their seats because no one's sitting there, you know? And with the guys, they were all really heavily checking their ticket. We just like kind of walked in like we were supposed to be there. No one checked us, and we ended up sitting like right behind courtside at a WNBA game. So like now I'm like spoiled to the point to where I'm like, okay, like if I'm gonna go somewhere, like I want the best seats. So this girl on Marketplace on Facebook was selling her Weekend ticket, and it was like a complete nosebleed, like section 415, and I managed to get the ticket for $60. And so I was like, okay, like that's a great deal, you know what I mean? So I go and I'm like, okay, I actually went to the concert by myself, guys. I went to the concert by myself because Kai got scheduled to work. All of my friends were either out of town or busy, but like I really, really, and I want you guys to also do this, like don't not do something because you'd have no one to go with. I feel like we always talk about that, and I'm really trying to like lead by example now. So I was like, I really want to go to this concert. I am going to go regardless. And at the end of the day, my favorite way to listen to The Weeknd, as I've always told y'all, is high and alone. So I was like, it makes so much sense. So I packed 2 edibles and I went alone. And it was honestly pretty safe because at least in Vegas, like there's the parking garage and everyone walks over together. So there was never a time where I was like alone. Like I made sure to always stay with the pack. And I think being a girl, like never wander off where you don't see any people walking. Like it wasn't just like a little group of like 5 people. Like it's hundreds of people. Like I really just stuck with the crowd, you know? And so I go in and I'm like, okay, I am a girl. That's already my first superpower here. And I'm by myself. What I thought at first was terrible that I was going alone can actually really play into my strengths, you know? So prior to the concert, I ordered on Amazon these wristbands. Now, guys, this is how I snuck into the floor seats at the Weekend for only $60. This is top secret because I don't think it's ethical. I definitely could have got kicked out. And so I won't be making a clip of this. I won't be advertising this. This is solely for the real ass teasers to know the secret of how I did this so that way you could do it too. And that's another thing. I don't want to blow up this because what if I want to do it again? And I don't want everyone doing the same thing as me. So this is just between you and I. So what I did was I got 2 packs of wristbands. One was paper wristband, one was plastic. I was like, those are the 2 that people usually give for sections, you know? With the help of Kai before work, Kai separated each color of wristband for me from each material. I put them in little baggies and I wore like really high chunky boots and I just put them in my boots. So I go to the concert and I see the VIP line and I pretend to take a call in front of the VIP line. Like I'm talking to my friend. I'm like, hey girl, like where are you? I'm standing right by like the VIP entrance. It's over here. Like there's a door right here. We can just go in this way. But I'm not actually on the phone with absolutely anyone. The reason why I was on the phone is because I wanted to see what color wristband VIP was getting, and I want to be like really clear on what it was. So I'm looking, they're all getting green plastic wristbands. And so then I'm like, okay, keep that in mind. I don't want to like sneak anywhere at first because everyone's still on their A game. All the lights are on. The ushers are checking your tickets. You know what I mean? And at this point, I did have a legit ticket. So I'm like already in the stadium ready to go. I was going to get merch, but the line was insane. Guys, I am the most patient mofo there ever was. I am not patient at all. I ended up just ordering a vinyl album from like the store online because I was like, I know I'm trying to kill time, but nothing could convince me to wait in this merch line. I go up to a guest services thing because honestly, like I was trying to do everything except the wristband trick. Like I wanted to do everything but this way just to see if like there was a more like appropriate way that I could get in. So I went to guest services and the lady's like, honey, why would you, she literally was so rude now that they brought it. She goes, honey, why would you think there's extra seats? This is a sold out show. You see that thing up there? Sold out. So I'm like, okay, like whatever. And then Playboy Cardi was going to come on. So I was like, shit, like I want to go see. Everyone's running. So I just ended up running into a section that was the 100 section. And I ended up sitting next to this group of guys and then a family with 2 kids. So it was like a very awkward placement, but it was still fun. Like no one was really like, oh, where's your seat? Because everyone's standing up, you know? So I went, I watched Playboy Cardi from there, and then I left while everyone was sitting because I was like, it's too weird. I tried sitting down next to them, and I was like, it's too weird. And like, did I really come this far to come this far? So then I'm like having anxiety attack. I'm like, okay, should I try to go to floor? Should I not try to go to floor? Should I try to go to floor? Should I try not try to go? Like, I'm like having like a mental battle. I text Kai and I'm like, hey, like I have too much anxiety. Like I can't do it. And Kai responded and goes, just do it. Like I believe in you. And for some reason, that was the motivation I needed because just doing it for myself, I was like, I can't. But doing it for like Kai, who I know isn't always like as outgoing as I am, and doing it for the teasers so I can share the story with you guys, like I was like, this is bigger than me. This is bigger than me. I have to do it. I go in the bathroom, I snap on a green bracelet, and I'm running down the stairs, and everyone at this point is kind of like antsy because the Weeknd's probably come on like in like 5 minutes. I'm walking down the stairs and no one's like checked at me. Like they have all the ushers there. I walked past a big group of them. They all were just smiling like, hi ma'am. Like didn't second guess me at all. I see the sign VIP floor entrance. I walk in and the guy goes, oh ma'am, like your wristband. At this point, like everyone's running because he's coming up. So I go, oh yeah, I hold up my green wristband. Keep in mind, everyone else has Allegiant Satan on theirs. Mine is just plain green, but I guess because of the rush, maybe because he was nice, maybe by the grace of the universe, I don't know why, but for some reason, I got in, bitches! Not only did I get in, but they also had guards like, okay, there's also a hierarchy in floor. Like, it's like one of those things, like, the more up you go in society, they even have their own hierarchy. So I'm at the floor, and there's a hierarchy. There's, like, floor by the stage, and then there's floor behind them. So there's ushers guarding it, but this girl, I felt like she was, like, I put her up to distract the guard. You know, like when you see, like, a stakeout and that kind of stuff. So she's, like, asking the guard a bunch of questions, and I don't consider myself short, but I guess at this time it came in handy. I just walk underneath this guy's armpit. I just walk underneath. I make it all the way to the front, and everyone's standing, so no one's like really measuring the seats. The girls that were at the aisle that's like right by stage had left for like half of the show. So I stood there and not to brag, but I totally eye fucked the Weeknd. And I'm not delusional. I probably sound like a delusional crazy girl, but this is how I know. He was singing, oh my God, what song was it? I don't even remember. It was a blue song. Like all the lights were blue. And I couldn't even record because like we made eye contact. And I literally just stopped recording because I was like, I need to be in the moment. And he pointed at me and then I pointed at him and I started singing. And then I like did this like move that I do where I always go like this. And then I do like a little white girl dance like that. You know what I mean? Like I feel up my body. And then he did the exact same move that I did. And he was like, you know what I mean? And then he came back, he double backed. And then like I like waved, like I did a little thing, and he like waved too. We're not dating. He didn't ask me out. Didn't go back to his hotel. Nothing. But we totally made eye contact, and that is something that I will always cherish. But it was honestly the best time ever. It's the only concert I've ever been to where I've known all the words. He played, if any of y'all are fans of him, he did play House of Balloons, which was really good. My favorite one was I think The Morning was my favorite. I love The Morning. That was like my gay anthem, not because it's a gay song, but whenever I first started hooking up with this girl, like that is a song that I would listen to like right after we had sex. For some reason, I was like, this is like me romanticizing my life. So I was like, I like couldn't believe that he played that, especially because it's like such like from an old album. But it was really, really cool. And now I feel like I want to get like an XO tattoo. But like, is that lame? I actually want you guys to tell me your thoughts. Like, what do y'all think about getting tattoos that like reference music or a certain artist or like fandom, I guess, that you're a part of. What's y'all's opinion on that? Because I don't really know. Oh, and then guys, this is also like I just keep trying to use my free will, especially after making last time's episode. I wanted to get a picture like right in front of like the stage, and the security guards are like, "Ma'am, like you gotta go, like we're kicking everyone out." And I go, yeah, I completely understand, but your head was just in my picture. If you could just move your head, like we'll be G. And they moved their head, and it was really nice. And I ended up making a friend because I saw that this girl had a camera, and I was like, okay, perfect, like let's just take pictures of each other. So that was really fun. I walked back with the entire group. I literally could not walk. My feet were killing me because I was wearing platforms. Guys, when I tell you the whole crowd was passing me up, I got lapped like 20 billion times. I was literally taking like a step like that was my steps. And then, of course, a good night can't just be good. Of course, a good night can't just be good. For every action, there is an equal and an opposite reaction. I had an amazing night, and then I get pulled over on my way home. Because my car registration expired. Luckily, I got so lucky. The officer, for whatever reason, took it so easy on me. I don't even know how. I was like, I didn't know because, like, I just moved here. He's like, how long have you lived here? And I'm like, 6 months. He's like, girl, it's long enough to know. But luckily, he didn't even give me a warning. He didn't give me a citation. He didn't give me anything. He gave me the motivation to get my registration renewed because, honestly, like, I hate paying for my registration. Like, it's just so expensive, and I really don't want to become a Nevada resident. Like, I don't want a Nevada license plate, mostly because like I don't see myself staying in Vegas like super long term. I know that that was kind of like the original point when we moved, that I was like, I like want to like find my forever place. And as I've been living here, like, I'm gonna be honest, guys. Like, there's moments where I love Vegas, and sometimes I am just like, I hate Vegas. I'm gonna crash out. It is so hard to get a job here. Like, when you're in your 20s, I feel like so many of us do customer service, hospitality. I just got out of school, so that's what I was doing. That way I can work on my other projects. That way I could just get my life together, but I can still make money. And Vegas still has like that really old school hiring process where for some reason it's like they don't see I don't want to like be that person, and I don't want to like bring like race and appearance into it, but like Vegas has this old school thing to where it's like, if either you know someone, but then also even if you know someone, your appearance has a very, very rough impact on whether you'll get hired. And being in Texas, being in Washington as like a Black woman doing customer service, my customers always loved me. And I feel like we've come to that point in society where we're like, okay, like we're all beautiful no matter our complexion and everything. And it's like Vegas didn't get that memo. They still only want a certain look. They still only want everyone to look the same. And there's probably, if you have a whole staff of cocktail servers, bartenders, bottle girls, like at least for sure on the Vegas Strip, even like in the whole central part, like you're only gonna see 1 to 3 Black girls. And it's because they didn't just know like another bartender, they knew like a manager, you know what I mean? And it's honestly so heartbreaking because when I first moved here, I thought, well, I have 6 years of experience, I have a degree, I have open availability, I believe that I'm attractive, like I can get a job, you know what I mean? I have been interviewing since I moved here in November, and it has just been like a shit show. Like, first I thought maybe it's me, maybe it's my resume. I've changed my resume 3 times. I've gotten more experience from the few jobs that have hired me, and none of it is helping my like ultimate job hunt at all. And I was talking to some girls that I do know who are also Black in Vegas, and they're like, girl, like you have to like have twice as much experience, know someone even higher up. Like it's really difficult. And like Kai ended up working at one of the beach clubs, and I met like one of the girls that works there, and she was like, wow, like she's so gorgeous. Like I definitely would think that she would get hired, especially if she has experience. But now seeing her, like I can tell you the reason why is like, it's that's the issue. And, obviously, I don't think that all of Vegas is like this. I think in like this particular like hospitality tourist industry, I don't know why, but that's kind of like the issue. And it's so strange because when I go out, like people always like interact with me, and like I really don't feel like it has anything to do with the customer base. I don't think it has anything to do with the people who visit here, travel here. It's really like management and above issue that happens here. And it's really frustrating because it's obviously not just affecting me, but it's affecting like so many girls that I know. Like when I first moved here, I couldn't even believe how many black people lived in Vegas, because like from the representation I saw in the hospitality industry along the strip and around, like the ratio isn't ratioing enough, you know? And so I feel like I've worked really hard to like get to a point to where I'm completely comfortable in my appearance. Like this has been the happiest that I've ever been with it. And when I was younger and like living in the South especially too, like it was really hard for me to come to terms with like this is just like a burden that like it has nothing to do with you, and it shouldn't even be a burden. It's just because of society. Like you are gonna have more of an uphill battle sometimes, but like I just grew to a point to where I accepted it and I ended up loving it, and I think it makes me unique. I think it connects me to so much culture and it connects me to so many other people. And Vegas has like taken me back a lot of times to like how I used to feel, just very insecure, very isolated, very like, am I good enough? You know what I mean? And I haven't like felt that way in so long. And that feeling hasn't crept up on me until experiencing what I've experienced in that industry here. Because even once you get a job, then you end up getting left shifts to the other people. I remember my manager, she at my old job, she literally cut my shifts for no reason, was only getting upset with me for no reason. When I asked her like what was it about, she couldn't even give me a correct answer. And the only way that I found out that it was an issue related to that is because another manager saw it happening and was like, this is not okay. And I know exactly why she's acting like this. And I had to file a whole upper complaint with HR. Like it was like just, it was really bad, you know? And yeah, I don't like that. It's 2025. I don't know if it was like that before this, but I think in this day and age, like I I should be able to feel comfortable with my appearance anywhere. And like, I mean, sure, if you don't hire me because you think I'm ugly, if you don't hire me because you think I'm inexperienced, whatever. But like for that to be like a factor that people who are in the industry and professionals are telling me like, no, this is why. Like I know that they loved you at the interview and they thought you'd be great, but this is why, is like very discouraging, because it's something that I can't change and it's something that I wouldn't even dare to change. And like I'm not gonna water myself down. Like I can't do that and I won't do that, you know? And so just because of that, I feel like Vegas isn't a place that like I want to live long term, because even like let's say I never do hospitality and I find a whole nother path and now my experience is great. Now I know that that just happens a lot in this city, and I see it happen to other girls as well. And it's just something that I can't tolerate being around me. And I know that like given where we live and everything, like it comes into effect at a lot of times and you can't completely escape it. But just the amount that I see it here is really like jarring. And I know that not everywhere is like that, because when I was in Washington I didn't feel like that. When I visited LA I didn't feel like that. When I was in specifically Houston and Texas I didn't feel like that. So I know that there's places where it happens a lot less. And now after seeing that, like I can't completely feel comfortable saying that like Vegas is somewhere that I would want to like set roots down, because I think that there is a character flaw with the city itself, because the hospitality industry is the biggest industry here, you know? And so it's just not something that like it's just something that could be around long term. It really isn't. Like I want to just like be myself and have people who are like me be themselves and not feel like weird or anything, you know what I mean? I'm still on the job hunt though, because oh my gosh, the job I have now, I only work there weekends, so it's just like I just would rather work somewhere else. And because it's just like so uncomfortable, because oh my gosh, guys, workplace drama, can you never escape it? I feel like going to work in person is just like finding a new high school or something. Like, I knew this girl didn't like me. I knew she didn't like me because she would always like be really rude to me. She would say hi to everyone but me. I would be getting along with all my coworkers, my managers. Then she would come in for shift change, and all of a sudden, everyone stopped talking to me. Like, they would just like ignore me, you know what I mean? Like, it was just like this inherent sense that I'm like, you know, when someone doesn't like you. I'm a communications major, and one thing I realized is that like when I'm guessing communication patterns, like I really am making educated guesses. I'm not just like being emotional. I'm like, okay, based on body language, based on this context, in conclusion, this bitch don't like you. And I was always skeptical of it, and I always had a sixth sense that she didn't like me, but I had no confirmation. I had no confirmation, so like if I don't know for sure, I'm not gonna act any type of way. So I just basically like just met her with the same energy. I wasn't overly nice and I wasn't rude at all. I was just like, okay, if you don't want to talk to me, I'm not gonna like beg you to talk to me. I'll just get what you want done and I'll leave, you know? Until guys, the amount of times I've almost crashed out this past month is ridiculous. Like, I'm an Aries. I'm sorry. Crash outs are in my nature. And the fact that I haven't like had a real full out one, I've done some work on myself for sure. So we had this like really big mimosa brunch party or whatever. And I was already feeling a type of way because I got there early and the second bartender got there late. Then she left to go get a coffee. Then she left early and did like no cleaning up. And I had to stay over an hour extra to clean up, even though I'd been there the whole time. And, but you know, the industry is how it is and it is how it treats you, whatever. And she came in and she writes down like this whole list of things that she wants me to grab from upstairs that the morning shift doesn't even use. If you work in any type of customer service industry, I'm sorry if I'm triggering you. She writes down this whole list and she's like, you can't leave until you get this all done. She's just an employee. She's not a manager. Disclaimer. I'm like, whatever. I, again, don't want problems. So I'm just going to get what's on this list. I'm going to go look for it. I was telling my coworker, because she was like, girl, like, we never usually have to do all of this. And I'm like, I usually do. Like, it's always like usually something during shift change. And my friend goes, well, you know why, right? And I was like, why? And she was like, you know she don't like you. Like, you know she doesn't like you. And I was like, oh, yeah, I know she doesn't like me, but, like, are you saying, like, that you picked up on it too? Or are you saying that you know something, like, concrete? And she goes, oh, no, every shift that you guys shift change, she talks so much shit about you, about how she doesn't like you. She always says that you're a slow bartender, that you don't know what you're doing, that she just doesn't like your vibe. And she just said, like, when she first met you, like, she was like, ew, like, I don't like this girl. And she's never liked you. And she tells all the managers, and I'm pretty sure that's why you're working less shifts now. And that's why sometimes people stop talking to you. And pretty much that's why you get treated like shit occasionally. And then other times it's really high and other times it's really low. And when I heard that, I literally felt my head. My head was hot. HOTTTT. It was hot. I was about to bust out of my pants. It was bad. Like I literally, if I had been on reality TV at that time, it would have been terrible for y'all's perception of me. I felt like my eyes were twitching, like my head was physically hot, and I was like, oh, you're fucking kidding. Because not everyone likes each other. There's been people that I've met and I don't like them, but I don't think like any bad things about them. I'm like, you're just not my type of person. Let's agree to that. And that's what I thought it was. Like, we're not each other's type of people. okay, who cares? That doesn't matter. But to go around like willingly like talking shit about someone who we've literally never worked together, we only have shift change together, and you don't even have like a concrete reason why you think these things. You've never seen me bartend before. Also, like if you shit on my bartending, like whatever, like that's not my passion or anything. It's just what I'm doing to make money. Like I don't care. But you've also never seen it, so how would you even know? You know what I mean? And I knew it because I felt a weird energy shift. I would get called in and it was like, oh, like, can you work tonight? Can you work tonight? And yes, I'm always there. If my job needs help, like, I'm the person that will be like, yeah, like, I'll step out if I'm free. But when I would be like, hey, can I pick up the shift? They'd be like, oh, no, sorry, we're going to give it to someone else. And I was like, okay, like, this is weird. This is like a one-way relationship. Like, when y'all need help, I'm there. But when I even like ask for an extra shift or when I volunteer to cover someone else's, it's a no. You know what I mean? You're talking to me, telling me I'm a great worker, and then I'm not getting scheduled this part. Or you're telling me I'm a great worker, and then someone else walks in the room and you instantly start talking to me and you start making fun of like me. Like I was like the brunt of the joke. It was what it would be. But again, like the reason why I never address it, because my friends literally told me, they're like, you should talk to her, or you should talk to like a manager, ask if everything's okay. And I was like, I've already asked my managers if everything's okay. They haven't copped to anything. And they're like, well, you should just go directly to her and talk about it. But like, you know, when someone's just so bottom of the barrel in your life that you're like, even chatting with you would be a waste of my breath. Like that's just how I felt. Like we don't work together. I only see you on the weekends. We have we have no mutual friends. Like we literally have nothing to do with each other. So like talking to you literally does no benefit to my life. If I worked with her on the daily basis, yeah, maybe we would have talked. But like again, like you're bottom of the barrel in my life. Like if I think about things I have to get done, like you don't even come across the list. You know what I mean? And I feel like our generation has become really good at like silence is power, and you don't have to address every single thing. Like not everything has to be confrontation. I'm completely cool, us not liking each other, whatever. So I find this out and I'm like so upset. Like my poor coworker, I am like having word vomit. I'm like this bitch, da, 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 da. And the thing is, the girl is right over there. So like, and I know that I'm not a naturally quiet person. She definitely probably heard me. And it was such a weird thing because then I saw her the next week before the Weeknd concert, and she was so nice. She cut all of the bullshit, and it's almost like her hearing that I feel the exact same way about her canceled it out. I don't know. I I don't know. I don't think this is like, I hate when people say like, oh, girls and women have so much drama, and that's why I think humans have so much drama, and whatever this cancel out factor is, I don't understand it. But basically what I'm trying to tell y'all is if you feel like someone has a problem with you and it's escalating to the point to where you can't really ignore it and it's interfering in your actual life, still you don't really need to address it, but maybe let that person know like, hey, you don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with you, so can we stop trying to prove to each other that we hate each other and just exist in this mutual disdain? You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what it is now. And I guess it can cancel out because I think what happened was she found out that I felt the same way. And so she stopped trying to like antagonize me to let me know how much she doesn't like me, which also could be known as bullying. But I don't think of myself as someone who like is getting bullied, mostly because I'm not gonna allow someone to do that to me. You know what I mean? There comes a point to where like you have to stop it. And so I never think of myself as a victim in any of these situations. I think of myself as an opponent. I'm not a victim. I am an opponent. And if you want to go, we can go. But like, don't do this weird thing. You know what I mean? So I'm really glad that we just both decided to not go and we decided to drop it completely. But yeah, I guess you got to make sure that people know it's mutual. You know, like if someone's picking on you and they're saying things about you, maybe a simple, hey, I know you don't like me. I don't like you either. We'll nip it in the bud. I think I'm gonna start doing that. Next time someone's like weird with me and I'm like, hey, like I can sense that like I'm not really your type of person. I just want you to know you're not mine either. And so like we're good. You know what I mean? Maybe that's even how sometimes people go from enemies to friends because they're like, oh my gosh, we both have similar tastes and it's not in each other. Well, that is everything that I have for you guys this week. It was so good to be back with you guys one-on-one on this little date, just the two of us. Be sure to follow the Instagram at TeasePod, at Tease Podcast on TikTok and everything else. Write in your questions, your stories, your advice. My Instagram and everything else is at Alea Antoine. Please be sure to rate the show 5 stars on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts and subscribe on YouTube. And I will see you teasers next Tease Tuesday. I love you guys. Bye.